playing some great basketball as we check out the starting lineup for the Hornets. Collison joined by Morris Peterson in the backcourt. Stojakovic, David West off a 40-point game against Orlando Friday, and Emeka Okafor rounding out the starting five. For the Mavericks, Jason Kidd and Butler. Butler is back after missing a couple of games. Shawn Marion, Dirk Nowitzki, and another newcomer in the trade from Washington, Brendan Haywood, the big man in the middle for the Mavs. For more on tonight's game, let's send it over to Rick Bucher.
Thank you, Dan. This is going to be the first appearance for the Mavs' Butler since receiving an injection of medication into his left knee 5 days ago. Now, Butler would not specify what the medication was, but he says that it's never swelled up on him the way it did this time. In any case, he went through warm-ups, had no problems. He's out there, and he says that he only gets this every couple of years, so this should not be an issue moving forward.
That's very good news for Rick Carlisle and the Mavericks. Butler obviously brings scoring, toughness, defense, great teammate. I mean, you name it, he brings a lot of intangibles to the Dallas Mavericks, and with Jason Kidd playing the way he is, and Dirk Nowitzki, and on it goes, Tim. They look like a very dangerous team in the West.
They really are. I mean, Rick Carlisle said it to us before the game. He's got much more depth in his rotation now. Different guys you can go to run your offense through if you choose, but more importantly, they're just tougher. They're a better defensive team, and they brought in some winners, and it's going to help this team down the stretch.
Stojakovic baseline. Now David West, we talked about a 40-point, 10-rebound game in a win over Orlando on Friday night. Dallas is coming off an overtime win at Atlanta Friday night. Those two games were our ESPN games, the ESPN doubleheader on Friday night. And in fact, this is kind of the Dallas Maverick week on ESPN. Beat the Lakers on Wednesday, beat Atlanta Friday, and now here they are again on Sunday night. Shawn Marion, Kidd shooting the ball as well as he ever has. 42% from beyond the arc on the season.
It's been amazing to me to watch Jason Kidd develop into such a consistent three-point shooter. You see the pace on his shot is so much different now than it was when he was playing in New Jersey. He really slows everything down, takes his time, and has been a deadly weapon for them.
Darren Collison with a wing jumper. Very interesting matchup. Future Hall of Famer, one of the all-time greats in Jason Kidd, against a very talented young rookie in Darren Collison. Butler.
That's a good sign for Dallas. Butler really hasn't found his stroke yet. I think he's been concentrating more on defensively helping this team, but they're going to need his offense, and that's his game right there, to pull up mid-range 18-footer.
Morris Peterson way left and way too strong. Missed that one badly. And Peterson's a guy who's starting, not getting a ton of minutes and not producing a lot when he's been in there. We're going to see a lot of the rookie out of LSU, Marcus Thornton, who's playing some great basketball for the Hornets. Collison, pretty two-man game between him and West.
That's the shot that he's been making, and that was the question mark on him coming out. Could he consistently knock down 18-footers if he's left open with the double teams on West? That's what he's done during this stretch without Chris Paul in the court, and he's just getting more confident now. As he makes that shot, he becomes more dangerous because he's so explosive getting to the rim.
Very quick, only about 6 foot, 160 pounds. Double team on West. Stojakovic for three. And Peja can still light it up every now and again, averaging better than 12 points per game, shooting just under 40% from beyond the arc.
Yeah, there was a time it looked like Stojakovic, maybe because of all the injuries taking a toll, was not going to be a factor in this league anymore, but he's made a comeback this year, and he still continues to light it up from deep.
Jason Kidd with the left hand, swatted away. Looked more like a pass that Okafor knocked away. Kidd winds up with it again and knocks down his second three of the night.
It just makes them so dangerous when he's making that shot, because now you're going to have guys flying at him, and that's going to create situations for Shawn Marion with his slashing, Butler, and then also for Dirk to get more single coverage as the game goes on.
Collison the extra pass. Peterson will try one from the corner. A little bit closer, but still comes up short. Butler behind the back for the lay-in.
Butler that time showing off his ball handling skills in the open court. He's such a strong guy, wide body, and if he gets you in a one-on-one situation where you're backpedaling defensively, he's going to be able to get to the rim anytime he wants. This is a great move right here against Collison, who gambles for the steal. Butler controls it and goes up, finishes with the reverse. Again, I know Rick Carlisle's glad to see Butler get off to a good start here.
Dallas, winners of 6 in a row. Lost the first game after the trade, have won 6 in a row since, so 6-1 overall since the deal. On the switch now, Stojakovic will try to take advantage of Kidd and knocks it down. Haywood looking sharp in the early going.
And Rick Carlisle switches a lot on pick and rolls, but he doesn't mind if it's Jason Kidd because he's got great strength. He can go down there and play a lot of bigger guys. That time, Haywood, though, with his length, able to shoot an easy turnaround jump shot.
Kidd posting up now. In and out, but that figures to be an area where he can try to take advantage of Collison. Nowitzki hasn't taken a shot yet in this game. 4 minutes in. West, such an important guy with Chris Paul out. Look to him to score a little bit more. Okafor inside with a beautiful spin move.
Yeah, he doesn't get a lot of touches down there with an opportunity to score, but that time he was so deep. Easy finish.
Well, Caron Butler may be still finding his way, but boy, he looks like he's fitting in beautifully right now.
Yeah, I don't think we've gotten inside of 18 on the shot clock yet. Both of these teams getting into their offense quickly and letting it fly. And Collison hits a three, and you can see right now, both of these teams are packing it in the paint. The outside shots will be there. Collison
with a quick 7 in the early going. What a job by Marion on the offensive glass, but he misses the follow. You better get back in a hurry, too, on Collison, one of a number of talented rookie point guards that we see in the NBA this year. Stojakovic, deep three, too deep as it turns out, and now numbers for Dallas. Marion back to Kidd.
Well, a lot of three-point shots are going to lead to runouts. And Dallas is taking advantage of it now. 2 different occasions to get easy numbers at the other end after a long three was missed. You can tell Dallas really just wants to focus on how they're going to defend David West, and I think they're going to live with the perimeter shots from New Orleans. They've got some streaky guys on that team.
Kidd helping out on West. Collison will try another three. Rebound Okafor. And Collison slips inside for the layup. What a start for the rookie. He's got 9.
Well, Jason Kidd that time really didn't expect Collison to make the cut after he shot the three. Turned his head. Great back cut. Okafor with the dish, and Collison gets an easy bucket. Took advantage of Jason Kidd that time, staying out by the three-point line.
Well, you can't blame these guys for needing a breather. What a pace in the early going here in Dallas. Well, leave it to a guy like Jason Kidd to pull off a play that so many people said they had never seen before in all their years, whoever they may be, of watching NBA games. He saw Mike Woodson, the Atlanta coach, out on the court, signaling out a defensive scheme near the end of regulation against the Atlanta Hawks Friday night. So what did Kidd do? He ran right at the coach, created the contact. A technical foul was called, helped send the game to overtime. Dallas wound up winning. Here are the thoughts of Jason Kidd.
It presented itself. It's not something that I think about while I'm watching a game or during a game. It was something that I saw. He was out on the court, and he wasn't calling a timeout. This wasn't college, so you know, I wanted to figure out how to get my team a point, and by bumping into him, you know, that's how, you know, I thought that was the mental game for us, was to steal it, and it worked.
Well, I think the first thing you got to do is break down Mike Woodson defensively. Okay, he knows as a former player the first thing you got to do is stop the basketball.
Right.
So he's trying to do
You're
that.
right.
But I thought his posture was upright. He wasn't down low. Didn't contain an obvious block because he was still moving. So I thought it was the right call by the official.
Good call.
And great awareness by Jason Kidd to pick up the point. Imagine though if he doesn't make contact, he ends up just running out of bounds right there. How embarrassing would that have been?
Well, Jason Kidd's teammates, to no surprise, said he's the smartest player I've ever played with. He's the only guy who would think of that, and he was just having one of those games on Friday night, especially down the stretch. He just took over. 19 points, 17 assists, and 16 rebounds. I mean, that's a man's triple-double that Jason Kidd had on Friday night. Terry, the handoff, and Haywood, the power slam.
They've got such a great balance right now between playing slow and playing fast. Jason Terry's a guy puts a lot of pressure on you with his speed up the court. And then again, you saw the athleticism of Haywood getting down there and being able to finish a play in the middle of the lane.
James Posey, Marcus Thornton have checked in for New Orleans. That was Posey missing the three. Very short bench for New Orleans tonight. In and out for Nowitzki. I mean, with the weapons Dallas has now, even if Dirk has an off night, they can still pile up a lot of points. Haywood with a block. Okafor keeps it alive, turns it over. Kidd the push. Terry. Butler. Beautiful transition basketball.
One of the things I love about Jason Kidd, and I always have, he's one of the few point guards in this league, and Steve Nash in this category, they don't mind giving the ball up early. Throw it ahead and let guys go make plays. Trust your teammates. There are a lot of point guards in this league that want to dictate everything and bring the ball up themselves, and you lose opportunities. You've already seen Jason Kidd do it in this game at least 4 or 5 times, and it's led to a great shot every time. Trust your teammates to make plays.
I'll tell you, for one guy who's pushing 37 and the other guy's 35, they're still pretty good, aren't they, Kidd and Nash?
They really are. Both of those guys, they haven't really lost much at all because they're just so smart. And Jason Kidd, offensively, such a great pace and relaxation about his game. Look at Dallas here in a full-court press mode with Butler with the steal.
Playing like a confident bunch right now. Winners of 6 in a row. Kidd runs down the offensive rebound. Nowitzki steps in, buries it.
They are firing on all cylinders right now. Jason Kidd running down that rebound. We know that's what he does as a point guard as well as any that's ever played the game, but how quickly he gives the basketball up. It's in his hand for a split second, and it leads to a great shot.
Trouble for the Hornets as they use a timeout. Dallas is the oldest team in the NBA. They sure don't look like it when they get out and run the way they have tonight. It's a 19-4 run right now for the Mavericks. They've got a double-digit lead. Jason Kidd still getting big minutes, just a couple of months shy of his 37th birthday. Second all-time in the NBA in assists. 5th all-time in made three-pointers. 4th all-time in steals. And it's not like he's kind of creeping and crawling up those lists either. He's still among league leaders this year in assists and steals. 36 years old, playing like he's 26.
He's just got such great awareness on how to make other people on his team play their best basketball, and that's all he really cares about. It's one of the things I've always admired about Jason Kidd. Everything about him that he does on the basketball court is only about winning. That's all he cares about.
Collison with 11 first quarter points, forces one up. Kidd the rebound with time. Butler shakes his defender. Marion loses the handle. And the first quarter comes to a close with Dallas putting 35 points up on the board against New Orleans. Dirk Nowitzki, he had his moments, but had a lot of help. Haywood, Kidd, Butler, you name it. Dallas up by 11. Back here in Dallas, Dan Schulman, Tim Legler, Rick Bucher's with us as well. 47-26 Dallas. The Mavericks are obviously rejuvenated by this trade. They're playing great basketball right now. How viable a threat do you think they are to maybe knocking off the Lakers, maybe making it to the NBA Finals?
Well, I think this trade has taken them from 3rd or 4th best team in the West to me, clearly the 2nd best team. And the separation between them and the Lakers is very slim right now because they now have a complete basketball team. The big issue for me, the Mavericks, was defensively. Could they get stops when they had to get stops against a team like the Lakers if it gets to that point in the postseason? Without Butler, I don't think so. But now they could put a lineup out there that can be out there primarily to defend without giving up that much offensively. And I think that's what you really look for in this team. The depth is there now. They've got enough guys that can score, but their toughness and defensive capabilities now are so much greater. They're a legitimate threat. I think they're the 2nd best team in the Western Conference, and who knows, by the time we get to the playoffs, they might be neck and neck with the Lakers.
Tonight they've got 16 assists on 20 made field goals as Julian Wright scores, and 16 assists against only 2 turnovers tonight so far for the Mavericks. Barea, and he can give you a little bit of that as well. He's a tough guy.
Well, right now, the Hornets are just completely lost defensively. I mean, there's no help on penetration. The rotation hasn't been there when the Mavericks have moved the basketball. We know they're getting annihilated in transition. So it's like pick something that you're going to do well and make the Mavericks at least one thing that they struggle with. Because right now, they're getting anything that they want offensively. It's as well as you're going to see a team play, actually, offensively. 47 points in the first 15 minutes of the game.
David West now with 6, but still a huge lead for Dallas. Remember, Dallas is still without Eric Dampier, who is at least realistically a week to 10 days away, dislocated finger. Terry, no. Rebound right. And great versatility, too. You can play Marion at the 3 or the 4. You can play Butler at the 2 or the 3. Count the basket for Collison. And thank goodness if you're a New Orleans fan that Collison is having the kind of game that he is, or this would really be messy.
Yeah, his recognition now of opportunities, you see right there, set him up. Great crossover, gets by Barea. Sean Marion, Caron Butler on the weak side, really not where they should have been to stop his penetration, but that's just a quick move. Read the floor, made a decisive attack at the basket, and right now, like you said, without Collison, then this could be a 30-point game right now. So he's single-handedly kept them in it. Now he's got to get some help. Let's see if Marcus Thornton maybe can get going, or David West can hit a couple of jump shots and get this team back in the game. The Mavericks have to take the ball out of the net if the Hornets want to have a chance.
Butler, boy, they are hardly missing right now. They're shooting 65% so far.
See, the other thing that Caron Butler brings to this team, now when Dirk Nowitzki's not on the floor, he's your primary scoring option because he gets to the foul line. He's an efficient scorer, and you can run your offense through him.
There's Thornton. Rolls off the rim for the rookie out of LSU. Guy who had a 37-point game last week, including 23 points in one quarter. Sharing the basketball beautifully. This is a passing clinic right now by the Mavericks.
Well, when you talk about spacing and transition, I don't know that you can do it any better than the Mavericks are right now. They've got guys running wide lanes. You've got a big run in the center of the floor and at least one shooter out there spotted up, and they're just picking them apart because of the spacing is so great. Take a look here. I mean, Barea gives it up again, like I talked about, point guards throwing it ahead and trusting teammates. Butler's on the right wing, and then you always want one big, slashing weak side to strong in transition to put that pressure on the defenders that are back to suck them into the rim. And that time, Nahara was the recipient of a perfect pass and an easy layup.
Two-man game, Collison and West. Extra pass, the open jumper for Thornton, short, and Julian right there to clean it up. Back to Dallas, you can tell, I'm sure, on teams you played on and now as an observer, you can tell what a team is really willingly sharing the basketball.
Oh, everybody's touching it right now, and it's fun to watch. And when your best offensive players like Dirk Nowitzki, Jason Kidd, Caron Butler are that unselfish about giving it up and not caring who's getting it done, makes it easy to play.
And that's why they've got 55 points midway through the second quarter. All right, Jonesy, thank you. So Shaquille O'Neal, remember, no Zydrunas Ilgauskas right now, though it's expected he'll re-sign with the Cavs once the 30-day waiting period is up. Michael Jordan expected to become the majority owner of the Bobcats. And how about New Jersey a couple of days ago winning at Boston? Is this more of a statement about the Nets getting better or the Celtics really struggling right now?
I think the Celtics struggling, and I think just a lack of focus. And, you know, Kendrick Perkins made a comment. He thinks they're bored with the regular season. That's kind of scary coming from a young player to say that, but I know what he's saying. Look, this is a team that is thinking about winning a championship, and they had a night where they just got caught off guard, and New Jersey came and they played hard and they played well, and give them credit, showing a little bit of fight, try to avoid infamy right now.
Marion with the offensive rebound. New Jersey with 6 wins on the season. The NBA record for the fewest wins is 9. Left-handed layup, Nahara. Barea with the penetration and the kick.
Yeah, Barea that time, great job. Split the pick and roll, got into the paint, and he's so smart because he knew all he was looking at was that backline defender. If he comes up, I'm dropping it off. That's exactly what happened to Nahara right there for an easy one.
And Dallas has not slowed down at all with Nowitzki and Kidd on the bench. There's a travel on West, who stares down the official in disbelief, and now Nowitzki is going to check back into the game.
J.J. Barea, look at the split right there, and all he's looking at is James Posey going to come up, then he knows that Nahara is going to be open on the baseline. Perfect delivery. The Mavericks continue to share the basketball and find the easy guys.
19 assists on 24 baskets, as you can see right now for the Mavericks. Their highest scoring first half of the year was 77 points, if you can believe it. That was against New Jersey back on December the 2nd. Butler with a long 2. This is a clinic.
The onslaught continues. Barea is doing it a little bit differently than Jason Kidd. Kidd was doing it in transition, throwing it ahead. Barea is carving him up right now in the half court by breaking his man down off pick and roll and forcing extra defenders to come, and that's going to leave somebody open on the perimeter.
West posting up on Nahara right now. Nice backdoor cut by Thornton.
Right now, you've got a situation with 4.5 minutes to go. If you're the Hornets, if you want to make this a game, you've got to clamp down right here. Force Dallas into some jump shots where you can get a hand up. Hopefully, maybe get a couple transition buckets yourself and get this to a workable margin as you head into the locker room, because right now, defensively, they have to go in and completely regroup with what they're doing because they seem confused, and Dallas is taking advantage of every situation.
Both teams coming in here on equal rest. Neither team played last night. It was close for about the first 8 minutes, and then the Mavericks, they just can't miss right now. Boy, West in some heavy traffic. Finds Thornton, and he has it rejected. That shot won't go, but the follow is there for the opportunistic Marcus Thornton, getting more and more minutes and putting up some very good numbers at under 12 points per game on the season. But in his last 13 games, he's over 18 points per game, Tim.
Yeah, 23 points in a quarter last week, and he's a guy that can light it up in a hurry, and they certainly need some offense right now from that spot off the bench.
Nowitzki, soft touch.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing that Dallas has 61 points now, and Dirk Nowitzki really hasn't been involved in this game offensively at all.
He's got a quiet 10, 4 for 7. Collison, and he has made a lot of noise here tonight. 18 points for Darren Collison, overshadowed by some of the other rookie point guards with Curry and Evans and Jennings and Flynn and so forth. But now that he's getting a chance to play, the 4-year guy out of UCLA is putting up numbers the equal of any of them.
Well, he's played so well that when Chris Paul comes back, they're going to have to find a way to play both of those guys together.
How about Dirk just backing down Posey?
Well, you take any good offensive player in this league, and if you're going to give him 5, 6, 7 dribbles from the three-point line to just back a guy down one-on-one, just about anybody in this league that's a good offensive player is going to be able to score in that situation. And it gets back to the Hornets really not having any sense of what they're trying to accomplish defensively right now.
Thornton can't shake Terry, and now a foul on Jason Terry, who gives an earful to John Goebel, one of the officials tonight. Well, as a guy who used to like shooting the ball and knocking down the open Jay's legs, you've got to love what you're seeing for the Dallas Mavericks.
Well, I could go out there right now the way this team's sharing the ball, and I know I'd get a couple of good looks. Mavericks on fire, putting on an offensive display against the Hornets.
Well, the New Orleans Hornets, not much is going right for them here tonight, down 20 points late in the first half to Dallas. And one of the only bright spot really is Darren Collison, who's got 18 points in this game, and he's a relative rarity in the NBA these days. A first-round pick who stayed 4 years. So we asked Collison earlier today about why he stayed and went the distance at UCLA.
Ever since my sophomore year, I had a chance to leave, and I just had so much fun with my teammates, on college, and I didn't want to give that up. You only play college for 4 years, and the NBA to me wasn't going anywhere at the time. As long as I continue to get better, I was going to be fine. A lot of people did give me grief by staying for all 4 years, but I thought it paid benefit to my dudes because I got a chance to see some of the guys I could have been drafted with, play in the NBA and just learn how they maneuver things in the NBA and just learn from them.
Well, guys typically stay for a couple reasons. One, you genuinely love the college experience so much you just don't want it to go. And two, when you're ready mentally. When you're ready to go make that leap. And I think sitting back and watching guys that he played against in college, that he competed against and outplayed, have success at the NBA level just gained him a lot of confidence as he got ready to make his entry into the league and make his mark. And like I said, Jeff Bower said before the game, we didn't really count on him playing much this year at all. And he has gotten an opportunity, and I can tell you as well as anybody, when you get that opportunity, you need to jump on it and seize it and make it really difficult for them to ever take you back out of the lineup again. Now, we know Chris Paul's coming back, but now they'll find minutes for Collison someplace else. At the 2, more minutes as a backup, whatever they have to do, because he definitely is an impact player.
Averaging better than 40 minutes over his last 10 games in place of the injured Paul, who's still at least a couple of weeks away after having knee surgery. Jason Kidd, meanwhile, getting a long rest on the bench here for the second quarter with a big lead, and Barea playing well. Terry out to Nowitzki, and it is good. Dirk Nowitzki now with 14 points. Jason Kidd having as much fun on the bench as he had in the game in the first quarter.
Well, when Dirk Nowitzki eventually retires, if he stays in Dallas his whole career, they really should just put a nameplate at the top of the key. Really, because he has just lived there his entire career. Unlike any big guy I've really seen, he loves to operate elbow to elbow. That's his area of the floor. and Dallas Mavericks typically know they can find him there on every possession.
Marcus Thornton with another basket for the Hornets, a second-round pick by Miami and acquired in a draft day deal by the Hornets for a couple of future second-rounders. New Orleans always had their eye on him because he went to LSU. So right in their backyard as Nowitzki finds Nahara for the slam.
Well, Nahara not known as a great scorer, but even he can take advantage of a wide open baseline. He's done it 3 times so far since he entered the game, and he's having a lot of fun down there running free. The Hornets just lose track of him virtually on every possession.
Stojakovic, long rebound to West. 67 points in the first half for Dallas, shooting 69%. Thornton left that one short. Barea runs it down, and back come the Mavs.
And Marcus Thornton's got, it's not a pure shooter, but when he gets a couple layups and gets a couple buckets, he becomes a much better shooter.
Nowitzki from Barea. Can you remember any, really good 24 seconds quality stop that you have seen from the Hornets here tonight?
No, in fact, I can only think of about maybe 3 or 4 contested shots.
Wow.
In this entire half. I mean, everything they've gotten has been either a layup, dunk, or a wide open jump shot.
Coming up on the Toyota halftime show with Mark Jones and Bruce Bowen. A loss for the Cavs today, and that's the Shaquille O'Neal health situation. The Nuggets and Lakers meet for the 3rd time this season. The Lakers looking to beat them for the first time, and the Milwaukee Bucks went into their game tonight looking for their 7th consecutive win. Milwaukee will try to hang in there for one of the last playoff spots in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, the Bucks have been a nice story because it looked at one point like that team was really just going to go into free fall mode. And after the good start that they had with Brandon Jennings, they really struggled there for a stretch. But now Scott Skiles has that team back playing consistent basketball again. They figured out how to win, and right now making things very interesting for the bottom of the Eastern Conference playoff race.
J.J. Barea with 8 assists off the bench tonight. That's one of the big reasons for that, and the big lead why Jason Kidd has rested the entire second quarter. With a size advantage for Nowitzki over Posey. One of the few missed shots by the Mavericks tonight, and now the shot clock turned off as the Hornets look for the last shot of the half. Collison turns on the Jets and scores. Barea, good if it goes. Well, the way the first half went tonight, you wouldn't have been surprised if that went in, huh?
It had a feel like that was going to go in, too.
They shoot 67% in the first half and put up 69 points, up 19 at the break on New Orleans. Dirk Nowitzki got going in the second quarter, up to 16. Great balance, though, for Dallas. Darren Collison, the only thing making this even remotely respectable here at the end of 24 minutes. Let's check in now with Rick Bucher.
All right, I'm here with Caron Butler, 12 points, 6 for 8 in the first half. You've been off for 5 days. How did you find your rhythm so quickly?
Just playing with a great point guard like Jason Kidd, and my teammates just finding me in the rhythm, and I'm just knocking down shots.
All right. How does the knee feel at this point?
I mean, it feels great. Been getting treatment over the last couple of days. Trying to give it a go in Atlanta. Still felt a little stiff, and give it a go tonight. Feeling great.
All right. Good luck in the second half. Back to you, Dan.
All right, thanks, Rick. Did 12 points, 3 rebounds, couple of assists, a productive first half for Caron Butler, one of the many Mavericks who is seemingly on his game tonight. 69-50. The Mavericks are leading the Hornets at the end of the first half here at the American Airlines Center. Stay tuned. Mark Jones, Bruce Bowen coming up with the Toyota halftime show right after these messages. Welcome back to a special edition of the NBA on ESPN. Second game of our Sunday night doubleheader. It's Dallas 69-50 up on New Orleans as we go to the second half at American Airlines Center. A clinic offensively by the Mavericks in the first half. Let's take a look now at our universal green zone first half stats. Look at some of these numbers for Dallas. 67% shooting, 23 assists against only 3 turnovers. J.J. Barea led Dallas with 8 assists. Basically, They got anything they wanted to offensively. You were talking about hardly any even contested shots that you saw at that end of the court.
That's a clinic. I don't know what else to say. Offensively, that's as well as you can play in this league. I know New Orleans didn't offer a lot of resistance defensively, but this goes to show you why Dallas is now a team that can challenge anybody in the Western Conference. Dirk Nowitzki is the guy that early didn't get a lot of touches, but then once he got into his rhythm, it just made the situation that much worse for the Hornets. You see the post-up fadeaway jumper. He owns this area of the floor, mid-range game, and this is something Dirk Nowitzki continues to evolve at, really. A guy that loves to take the ball to the basket now. That's the old Mavericks, and then you had a little bit of the new as well. Caron Butler, for the first time since he's come here, found his rhythm offensively. You saw him with the mid-range pull-up, and then in transition, showing a little bit of flash there behind the back. But this is really his game. Square up, face you up, jab step, and then rise up for those 15-foot jump shots. Big first half. They played 8 guys in the first half, and all 8 guys had a huge impact on the game.
Yep, and look at the shooting numbers: 7 for 11, 6 for 8. Jason Kidd only played the first quarter. J.J. Barea played great in the second quarter. In our never-ending effort to give equal opportunity to both sides and to seek out the positive on both sides, there's only one positive thing we could say about the New Orleans Hornets in the first half, and that was the play of Darren Collison.
Oh, you talk about equal opportunity. Well, Darren Collison did not discriminate. Anybody that was on him, he showed you a little something special. And this kid has got jets, and he's got a great change of pace. And fortunately for the Hornets, he was able to at least keep this somewhat within striking range, and this is the area of his game that he continues to improve, is the outside shot, but this is when he's at his best. When you get guys on skates out on the perimeter. Watch this crossover on J.J. Barea. Lightning quick, able to get to the rim, finish and play. 20 points. The continued evolution of Darren Collison is a guy that can really make his mark in this league.
Doing a great job filling in for the injured Chris Paul. With more, here's Rick Bucher.
Thank you. You know, Jeff Bauer, for a coach being down by 19 points, was amazingly calm and said, we will be better in the second half. We're going to defend better. But even more importantly, what he'd like to see them do is run back more at the Mavs on offense. He wants to see them try to get in the transition and take something out of them at the other end of the court as well.
Is that something, Tim, you think they can get done?
Well, to do that, you've got to stop taking the ball out of the net. I mean, that's where it starts. You allow a team to shoot 67%, and to me, it seemed like it was 80%. And they come out right away, first touch, to get another open look. Only way you can run in this league is to get turnovers or take the ball off the glass. They're not doing that.
Caron Butler now with 14. West, no. Rebound to Haywood.
Well, Dallas definitely came into this game with their game plan was to contain David West. They've made him play in traffic the entire game.
And Dirk with a turnaround jumper. 2 of Nowitzki's 4 lowest scoring games this year came against New Orleans. A 12-point game and a 10-point game. He's already got 18 tonight in 17 minutes of action.
Jeff Bauer said before the game that throughout his career, David West has had a lot of success guarding Dirk Nowitzki. The problem for the Hornets, everybody else has gotten loose, and then that allowed Nowitzki to then get his flow going.
Good defense by Marion, but Stojakovic makes a tough fadeaway jumper. Marion running the floor. Boy, looked like a wide receiver and a cornerback there. And Jason Kidd, I think it was Kidd who made that pass, just led Marion a little bit too far.
Take a look at Jason Kidd. Every single time he gets the basketball in the backcourt, just immediately his eyes look up at the other end of the floor. Whether it's to throw a long pass like that, or maybe it's just to lead somebody up the sideline, but his first look is always to see what can we get easy right now, and then he'll go ahead and dribble up if he has to and make a decision at that point.
The foul on Marion. Another thing about the first half, especially for Dallas, so few fouls committed in this game. It's just had the feel of kind of an up and down kind of schoolyard game, except one team is playing a whole lot better than the other team is tonight. Stojakovic, he was hot early, but made that one just a minute ago here to open up the second half. Misses that 3. How familiar do you think Butler and Haywood would be with the Dallas plays, having been here now 2 to 3 weeks?
Well, I think
Both of those guys by this time are pretty comfortable, especially a guy like Caron Butler. He's just got a high basketball IQ. He understands. He's been in different systems, different sets. So he knows what a team is trying to accomplish. The thing about Dallas that is great is Rick Carlisle is great at making sure he puts you in places on the floor where you can go do what you do well. And that's why Caron Butler is having so much fun playing in this system, even though he really hasn't found it till tonight offensively. And you see Rick Carlisle there. I have a lot of respect for that guy and what he does, particularly offensively. He really knows how to manage a team and get the most out of his personnel.
Well, the trade was made on the Saturday of All-Star Weekend, and they came out of All-Star Weekend with 4 games in 5 days, so they didn't have any chance to practice. You'd have a game day shoot around, you just preparing for the next team. So Haywood and Butler really were Mavericks for about a week and a half before they got a chance to have a full practice.
And I'll tell you what, if you went back and rewound that first half, they might not have run more than 5 or 6 sets. It seemed like the entire half, everything was improvised in transition. So that's the kind of game that Caron Butler can easily find his way in. He doesn't have to think too much about where he's supposed to be.
Peterson with a pull-up, and he rattles it home. Morris Peterson. New Orleans coming in 31-28. They are 9th in the ultra-competitive Western Conference, 2.5 back of the idle Portland Trailblazers for the final playoff spot. Memphis and Houston are right on the heels of New Orleans. Jason Kidd knocks down another 3. Collison 20 points in the first half. Okafor. And draws the foul on Brendan Haywood, or Caron Butler is saying, I got him, and it looks like the officials agree it was Butler reaching in and committing the foul.
Well, one of the ways that you try to slow down a team in transition is to try to make a team like Dallas defend with more guys in the paint. You do that by posting up West, maybe posting up Okafor. You saw Stojakovic get down there. When you try to run your offense from inside the paint out, it's going to force Dallas to start defensively with more guys down by the baseline. It's harder to run in that situation.
Watch live NBA action all season long wherever you are with NBA League Pass Mobile, now available for half price. Log on to www.nba.com/LPmobile now to learn more. Now, Okafor very quiet offensively in recent games, just about 6 points per game. His last 4, he's at 6 points so far tonight. Butler couldn't find anybody to pass to. Had the shot altered by Okafor, and back come the Hornets looking to push. Collison finally just threw it up on the rim. Wouldn't go down for him, and back come the Mavericks. And the more Dallas can run, the happier they are. Jason Kidd to Caron Butler.
And that is his shot. He loves the mid-range game where he's going to his left and does a little step back to a pull-up jump shot. Very consistent with that. That's his comfort zone.
West, and a block on Nowitzki.
Yeah, this is where Caron Butler likes to play. In transition, throw it ahead. You see here a little crossover. He's going to step left, get himself on balance. Got that great strong base. Goes up. Perfect rhythm. Knocks down that jump shot. But right now, David West, that last possession, drew the foul. So one of the few times in his game, he's had an opportunity to play with some space where he could face up and go at Dirk Nowitzki, because he's a little bit quicker when he does that. And he hasn't really had opportunities in this game. He's played with his back to the basket almost the entire game.
Look at how quickly Dallas tries to get down the floor again on an inbounds play. And Butler almost got free for a layup.
Now, you play with Jason Kidd, it's almost like international basketball. When that ball goes out of bounds, he's running down, trying to get that ball in bounds as quickly as possible and throw it ahead. Let one of your teammates go do something.
Kidd sets the screen, gets the pass, finds Nowitzki, the kick to Butler. Rebound Okafor.
Yeah, one of the great regrets of my career. I left Dallas the year before Jason Kidd got here. I was here the 2 years prior, and then he comes in, and just watching him and how easy he makes the game for everybody, how fun he is to play with.
If you want to see an NBA player's eyes light up, interview a guy who just got traded to a team that's got Kidd or Nash or Darren Williams or Chris Paul or somebody like that. They're awfully excited to get looks. Peterson and Nowitzki, another foul. Second on Nowitzki, 4th team foul in the quarter, and Morris Peterson, the 10th year man out of Michigan State, will be heading to the line.
You know, as well as Collison has played, it's so tough to replace a guy like Chris Paul, because it's not just about the point production, get out of that position. Chris Paul is a guy that just consistently puts relentless pressure on you defensively. He gets in every seam and crack. He's constantly drawing extra defenders, and he facilitates the game for other people. And Collison is getting there in terms of a playmaker. Right now, he's more of a scorer that can attack you, get to the rim, you know, be very explosive. But Chris Paul is like the quarterback for this team, and when you lose that,
everybody's got to try to do a little bit more than they're comfortable doing offensively.
And if Paul can come back in 2 to 3 weeks, Darius Sangaila is out as well with a sprained ankle, so they're missing a couple of key guys. They're only dressing 10 players right now, and we've only seen 8 of them play. So it's a short-handed group of Hornets. Kidd misses the 3. But look at him hounding Collison, just forcing Okafor to give the pass to somebody else other than the point guard.
Well, that just did enough to slow up their possible transition opportunity.
Stojakovic trying to post on Marion. Collison on the drive. Taken away by Kidd. Now numbers. What an outlet pass as well. Nowitzki.
Actually a great job by Stojakovic to break up the 2-on-1, but then Okafor, as he got back into the play, just tried to tip it over his head to trigger a break, and it goes right to Dirk Nowitzki for easiest bucket of the night.
Another turnover, another fast break opportunity, and another layup.
How fun is that when you get a guy out, an MVP candidate, 25 a night, gives up a surefire layup to get his teammate a shot. That's what's special about the chemistry of the Dallas Mavericks.
It started at the defensive end. Jason Kidd pushing it. No look pass Nowitzki. Extra pass Marion. The Dallas Mavericks are up by 25. Jason Kidd coming off a triple-double at Atlanta Friday night. Putting up some good numbers again tonight, having fun, making the game fun for his teammates. 13 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals tonight. And this steal leading to another easy opportunity at the other end for the Dallas Mavericks. How many times have we seen this tonight? As Nowitzki gets the dunk. Working as hard at the defensive end, and he gives up some foot speed to some of the younger guys in the league, but still working hard at the defensive end, creating opportunities. And with that steal, Tim, Jason Kidd, who passed Scottie Pippen for 5th on the all-time steals list on Friday, passes Mo Cheeks for 4th on the all-time steals list tonight. You know, when it's all said and done, he's going to be second to John Stockton in both assists and steals in NBA history.
Absolutely incredible, and it really shows you what kind of player John Stockton was. You look at the distance that he has over the second-place guys, both in assists and steals, but Jason Kidd is a guy that's just got tremendous hands. I mean, he's always been a guy, his hands are like glue. If he gets a fingertip on it, it's usually his, and that's why he's been so great over the years at stripping guys, reading passing lanes. And we know with the assist what kind of a passer, what kind of a vision this guy has. Just a complete package in terms of a point guard running your team.
He'll turn 37 in April. Can you see him playing point at a high level, say until he's 39 or 40 years old?
I'll tell you what, 2 years ago I would have said no, but the way that he has transformed what he can do offensively, there's no reason to think he can't continue to play for 2 or 3 more years at a very high level because of his impact now as a spot-up shooter. That's something he did not have in his game, and when he started to lose the ability to turn the corner on guys on pick and roll and get to the rim, he had to figure out something else, and that's what he's done.
The oldest guard ever to record a triple-double, and we talked about that triple-double a little bit on Friday, but if you didn't see it or aren't aware of it, 19 points, 17 assists, 16 rebounds. He's the first player to have a 15-15-15 triple-double since he did it 14 years ago.
How about this? 11, 8, and 7 in the 4th quarter.
Wow.
He almost had a triple-double in the 4th quarter of that game alone, and the Mavericks come back from a huge deficit and keep that winning streak alive.
They've had a good week, beat the Lakers on Wednesday, won at Atlanta in overtime on Friday, and now just putting on a clinic, as you said, against New Orleans here tonight.
Also beat Phoenix during this stretch, Orlando. I mean, they've really beaten some quality teams that are serving notice that they feel now they've got all the parts they need to make a run at a title.
The acquisition of Butler, Brendan Haywood, and Deshaun Stevenson, who we haven't seen tonight. He actually started the last 2 games with Butler out and played some pretty good defense. Isn't going to score a lot, but gave them some defense and toughness.
Yeah, I mean, he'll get some moments where he's going to contribute because he doesn't back down from guys he can guard. And then you got Eric Dampier, who will be back. So that's going to be Rick Carlisle's main rotation, 9 guys when it's all said and done. But, I mean, at every turn, you've got a weapon. And now they're a much better defensive team, more complete defensive team, so there's really no holes left.
Nowitzki with a foul on the drive by Stojakovic. Peja will head to the line as we set up the NBA calendar for you. Tuesday night on NBA TV, it'll be the Celtics at Detroit. TNT with a doubleheader on Thursday. The Lakers at Miami, then Utah at Phoenix. Friday night on ESPN, Detroit, Cleveland, and then the Hornets are at San Antonio. That's the number 9 versus number 7 teams right now in the Western Conference standings. Sunday on ABC, a part of the Sunday Showcase, the Lakers are in Orlando. Jason Terry is into the game. Nowitzki goes out.
Depending what happens over the next 5 minutes of this quarter, we might not see Dirk Nowitzki again tonight.
You're right.
The way that the Dallas Mavericks have just rolled offensively, he sits down and somebody else is going to come in and pick up the slack.
Dallas has a game tomorrow night. They are at Charlotte, then they come home to play Minnesota and Sacramento. Back out on the road at Chicago and at Minnesota, so they're playing all teams that are around 500 or below 500. Got a chance to extend this winning streak for a while. If they win tonight, it'll be their 7th in a row.
Yeah, Charlotte's always a team that battles you. They play so hard, so you know that's going to be a physical game, and you've got to come very focused and ready. Certainly you're going to get more resistance defensively than they saw tonight, but you're right. In the foreseeable future, this thing could go for a while. At the right time of year, this is what you want. Put something together where you're building what your team is going to be in the postseason.
A kid turnover. Thornton, nice look ahead. Peterson will lay it in. And Rick Carlisle will use a timeout. Dallas a little bit sloppier with the basketball this quarter than they were in the first half, and even up 19. Rick Carlisle's got ever so slight a look of concern on his face right now, but for the most part, it's all good for the Mavs.
Well, we talked about Jason Kidd and the defensive prowess, but really it's been his passing throughout his career that I think has set him apart. We talk about some of the all-time greats. To me, there'll only be one Magic Johnson because of the size. To see over defense is an added dimension that most guys just never had in this league. John Stockton, precision, and a guy that delivered the basketball and pick and roll better than anybody we've ever seen. For Jason Kidd, I love the fact that he's always willing to give it up a little bit earlier than most point guards. And again, size and strength, his ability to break down defenses. And then Steve Nash has the most flair. And you see here with the left hand, as ambidextrous as we've ever seen at that position, puts on a show virtually every single night. These are the guys, this is how I would rank them too. Magic, number 1. Jason Kidd, I think the reason I put him ahead of Nash and Stockton, so effortless. And I think his strength and ability to put the ball on a line and get it there through very small spaces separated him from other guys on this list, but you can't go wrong with any of them.
And we're seeing evidence of that tonight and this season again. Jason Kidd and Steve Nash still 2 of the top point guards in the NBA, still among league leaders in assists this season. Butler no, rebound Peterson. There's some great young point guards in the league. The injured Chris Paul here tonight. Darren Williams, first-time All-Star this year. And so many good rookie point guards that you get a feeling we're going to be talking about in glowing terms in 8 or 10 years.
Oh yeah, they really are, and it's fun to watch these guys go at each other. You know, every night now you've got a young point guard somewhere in the league playing that you really want to tune in and check out because all of them are a little bit different, but it's such a great class and it's such a competitive position. And I've said it before and I will always say this, I think it's the most important position in the NBA. If you've got a guy that can run your team, you're set. And once you get one of those guys, you make sure you want to hold on to him.
And if you're a guy like Darren Collison, who is learning on the job, you play Jason Kidd one night, you play Tony Parker one night. In a couple of games, he'll play Golden State, so he'll play Stephen Curry, Monte Ellis. I mean, there's a challenge at the point guard position just about every single night.
Yeah, particularly in the Western Conference. I mean, it's brutal.
I mean, night in, night out, you've got to come ready to play or you can be embarrassed because you're always going to be facing a guy out west that can really go and give you fits.
Marion tried to shovel it inside to Haywood. Another Dallas turnover. That's 6th this quarter. And Thornton with some explosiveness, and New Orleans kind of creeping back into this game now.
The difference has been the activity level defensively now. They've gotten their hands on some balls. There's more guys in the paint, and they're forcing Dallas to play from the outside now. And it's enabled them to get out and get a couple of easy buckets, which they did not have any in the first half.
Another turnover. It's a 10-0 run right now for New Orleans. Dirk Nowitzki's going to check back in. Rick Carlisle's not having any fun right now. Stojakovic the miss. Good tap back by Okafor. Well, one thing New Orleans has done well this year, they've been a good comeback team. 12 wins in games in which they've trailed by 10 or more. The most in the league is Dallas, which has 13 such wins. But the Hornets have done a nice job playing from behind, getting back into games, and now they force Rick Carlisle to bring Dirk back in.
And they've got an interesting blend. They've got the young guards, the perimeter players, then you got the veteran guys up front. Interesting mix, and they just didn't compete in the first half defensively. And I think they've shown you a little bit of heart here in the third quarter and trying to whittle this thing down to at least make it interesting in the fourth quarter.
Stojakovic. Well, he has missed 2 threes in the last 15 seconds or so. That would have made it a lot more interesting. And now Nowitzki fouled inside.
Yeah, that time Dirk just ran straight down the center of the floor, had Peja on him, turned, pinned him deep under the rim. And you know if you do that, if you're a Dallas Maverick, Jason Kidd is going to find you. No matter what side of the floor he's on, he's going to get the basketball there as soon as you're ready to receive it.
And working on a streak of 43 consecutive free throws. You just knew it. You just knew it. A new streak started now for Nowitzki, who is shooting better than 90% from the line on the season 4th best of the NBA, as Deshaun Stevenson, the 3rd member of that trade with Washington, checks in for the first time tonight. Thornton operating at the point, not really his position, but with Paul hurt, Collison getting a rare breather. Jeff Bower's got very little choice but to move Thornton over.
No, all you're going to do with Marcus Thornton at the point, you're going to give him some space and let him go, because that's what he wants to do. He's an attacker. And if you spread the floor, give him opportunities, he can break down a lot of guys in this league. He's got great upper body strength. So when he gets in there, he knows how to get the contact, get to the foul line. He's just a natural scorer.
And a young man who said, you know what, I use it as motivation. He was taken in the 2nd round, 43rd overall. He admits that he plays with a chip on his shoulder because every single team in the NBA passed up the opportunity to draft him. That helps fuel him, and it's helping him improve as a player.
Absolutely. And you know what? He's not a secret anymore. I mean, people know this guy can score with what he's done, especially over the last 2 or 3 weeks, taking his scoring level to a different dimension now. And I think people are very aware when you play the Hornets now, you've got to contain Marcus Thornton, because he's going to come off that bench and he's going to be able to fill it up if you don't pay attention to him.
Collison back into the game, out there with Thornton, Stojakovic, West, and Okafor. It was once a 25-point lead for Dallas, down to 14 right now. Truth be told, New Orleans has missed some open looks the last couple of times, or it would be even closer. Haywood. Long jump up over Okafor. He thought he was playing some good defense.
Well, that's the last thing you want to do right there if you're Mecca Okafor. He did a nice job of forcing Haywood off the block, and he's getting ready to take a very difficult shot here. This, has about an 8-10-foot jump hook. That has very little chance of going in, but Okafor just got up under him a little bit, and Haywood forced the contact to get the call. Tough situation for the Hornets that time, because you got the shot that you wanted them to take, and instead you bail them out, send them to the line.
Kidd will go to the bench for the Mavericks, and J.J. Barea checks back in. He played the entire 2nd quarter, Barea did, and put up 8 assists in relief of Kidd. Barea is a guy who has played behind Kidd. He's also started at the 2-guard spot, and he can fill some different roles for Rick Carlisle. What impresses you about Barea when you watch him play in person?
He's funny when you see him. He's a little quicker than you thought he was. He's a little stronger than you thought he was. But he just knows how to play, and he's a high-energy guy, so he puts a lot of pressure on you because he never really gives his dribble up. He keeps it alive and makes things happen. I've been very impressed with the career that he's had so far. He's a better NBA player than I thought he would be, and he's shown you that he knows how to run a team.
Jason Terry. He misses, and after the Okafor basket the last time down the floor, New Orleans is within 13 with the basketball.
Yeah, I'm not sure Rick Carlisle loved that shot. I mean, Jason Terry's wide open, but that's how you let a team get back in the game. One pass and a long jump shot. All of a sudden, you look up and 3-4 possessions go by without a quality look, and now you allow the Hornets to get a little bit of a rhythm. Now, it was an important minute right here. If you can keep this thing around 13, maybe even get it down to 10, you've got some momentum going into the 4th quarter and a belief that you can now get back in and win the game.
The Mavericks have gone better than 5 minutes since making a field goal. Barea, beautiful look. Stevenson wide open. Haywood. Okafor got a piece. Okafor got it again.
That's just relentless that time by Okafor. Off his feet so quickly for 2 contests at the rim.
And you summed up Thornton beautifully. He's an attacker, but first let's go back down to the other end of the floor and check out Okafor's
defense. This is a great job by Okafor. You look at Haywood here. He tries to gather and wait, but Okafor does a nice job of getting a piece of the first one, and this is just so quick off his feet. But if you're Brendan Haywood on this second one, you've got to go up with two hands and try to dunk the basketball. You cannot shoot a floater against a shot blocker in front of the rim when you're 7 feet tall. Go up and force him to make contact with you and try to get to the line and finish it with authority.
Haywood will come out. Nahara back into the game. And Thornton, after missing the first, will knock down the second. It is a 12-point game. Again, it was 25 earlier this quarter. It's a 15-2 run right now for the Hornets. And a defensive 3-second violation.
I know, you think they'll let Dirk shoot this after he missed that free throw? Prior to that, he hadn't missed since the 4th grade.
It seems like that, doesn't it? You know, it's amazing, and you can find stats on anything these days. We said he's 91% on the season. Dallas, in their stats package, shows that in the 4th quarter and overtime this year, he's at 96% from the line.
He really has become one of the game's great closers, and I think that was something a few years ago that some people questioned. But now he's one of the best 4th quarter players this league has.
And Hubie Brown talked about this extensively in our broadcast from Atlanta Friday night. In terms of big guys, 7-footers, there's no argument about who the best shooter ever is.
No doubt about it.
Misses here, and New Orleans can hold for the final shot, can get it down to 11 or maybe 10. Collison, that is a beautiful little hesitation move in the paint by the rookie.
Great footwork that time, and poised by Collison to get exactly the shot he wanted. The Hornets finished the quarter. Great shape. 11-point game. Now they're going to make things interesting here at the start of the 4th.
It was a laugher for a while, but give the Hornets a lot of credit. Darren Collison and company have gotten back into this game. 12 minutes to go. They're down by 11.
Welcome back to Dallas. I'm here with Coach Rick Carlisle. Bit of a momentum shift there halfway through that period. What changed?
Too many turnovers. I'm not sure how many, 5 or 6. We had it up pretty good, and then, now they're back into it, so we got a battle on our hands.
What do you want them to focus on in this 4th quarter to close this out?
Well, we're a running team, and we can't run unless we get stopped. So we've got to be solid on defense, aggressive, and when we get it, we got to go.
Thanks, Coach.
Well, Coach Carlisle will not be pleased to find out it was actually 7 turnovers committed by his team in the 3rd quarter. 5 of them by Jason Kidd. They committed only 3 turnovers as a team in the first half. Held to 17 points in the 3rd. And New Orleans, which was once down to by 25, is back within 11 as we begin the 4th quarter.
Yeah, I think things were just so easy for Dallas in the first half that some of those gaps that they had, the Hornets did a better job of getting hands on some balls and forcing some turnovers.
And meanwhile, you and I looked at the same thing at the same time on our stat sheet at the end of the 3rd quarter. Quietly, Emeka Okafor is putting up very big numbers. He's now got 10 points, 15 rebounds, 5 steals, and 3 blocks.
Yeah, he really did it quietly, especially the rebounding. Didn't realize he had 15 rebounds. He kind of stacked those up there in the 3rd quarter.
The officials trying to sort something out. No basket is the call. A loose ball foul. The foul before the shot. And that's not going to make Jeff Bauer or Emeka Okafor happy.
You take a look here when West arrives. You see 3 defenders come over to help, and the push was in the back as Okafor's jumping. I actually think that basket should have counted because he was leaving the ground while he was getting pushed. That should have been a putback and one for Okafor. Tough break for the Hornets.
The foul on Stevenson. West a miss. Long rebound. Stojakovic wide open. New Orleans, energy, effort. They've taken that to a different level here in recent minutes.
Well, that kick out there to Stojakovic off the rebound reminded me of a very famous play that he was involved in against the Lakers on the other end when Robert Horry got that kick out in that great playoff series that they have with the Sacramento Kings. At that time, Peja couldn't knock it down. He's had some great looks. The last 4 or 5 threes he's taken pretty much uncontested. He just cannot get it to go down. It would have made things real interesting if he could have knocked a couple of those down.
Peja just 1 for 7 from beyond the arc tonight, but it is down to 10, and just in the first minute of the fourth quarter.
I thought Rick Carlisle summed it up pretty well at the end of the quarter. You know, they're a running team. They haven't had any transition opportunities in a long time because the Hornets have been more aggressive, attacked, gotten to the foul line, and slowed this game up a little bit to give them a chance at least to set up something half-court defensively.
Terry. Rebound Okafor. He's got another one. 16 boards on the night for Okafor. Thornton wanted to drive on Barea. Offensive foul.
Pesky defense by Barea. Does a nice job. He's a lot stronger than he looks. Good position right here. You see Thornton lowered the shoulder, pushed off on Barea.
Kind of amazing that they've got it down to 9, and it could be a lot closer than that. Missed some opportunities the last 5-6 trips down the floor. Barea using the screen, threw it away. Here comes Collison. Thornton for 3. Rebound Nowitzki. Now they're looking to run. Here comes Terry. The pull-up from the elbow is good.
They finally had an opportunity where they could get out and not have to run a half-court set. Because the Hornets are starting to lock in a little bit on those sets. That time they got out in transition. Pull-up jumper by Terry. A little breath of fresh air for Rick Carlisle because he sees his team playing at the pace that he needs them to play at.
Wow, David West is some kind of angry right now after being called for the travel. And he's got one of those personalities about him. When he gets angry, I take his anger seriously. I mean,
he plays with a scowl, yes, that's for sure.
Nowitzki, meanwhile, at the other end. Timeout. Boy, it was down to 9. They had the ball. The foul call did not include the basket, called a loose ball foul. All of a sudden, it's back to 13. What a momentum change. Rick Bucher with Chris Paul when we come back. Well, the Hornets playing without their superstar, their leader, Chris Paul, who's out after knee surgery. The Hornets are 10-11 when Paul is injured this year. He's doing his best to work the reps, maybe get a call for his protege, Darren Collison. But they could use Chris Paul in uniform here tonight. As long as he's available to us, though, he's standing by with Rick Bucher.
All right, thank you very much, Chris. This is your 15th game that you're missing since the knee surgery. Where are you in your rehabilitation?
Getting better. I'm making progress every day. Rehab's really tough, but I'm trying to do everything possible so I can get back out here and help us.
All right, and so do you have a timetable? You have an idea of when we might see you again?
Whenever I get 110%. You know, the way that I play, I can't come back until I'm full strength. And, you know, we're doing pretty well right now, and I just want to come back when I'm ready to go.
All right, Darren Collison, the rookie, doing a tremendous job in your stead. What has impressed you the most about what he's done?
Just his poise. You know, he really doesn't get rattled, and he's open to all suggestions. You know, all throughout the game, myself, Robert Pack, the assistant coaches, telling him a million things, and he could easily tell us to shut up, but he takes it all in stride and keeps playing.
All right, well, look forward to seeing you back. Thank you.
Thank you, Rick Bucher with Chris Paul, hopefully back within a couple of weeks if you're a New Orleans fan. A torn meniscus is the surgery that he had on his knee. He had it about 3 weeks ago, so he's probably still at least a couple of weeks away. And again, give Collison a lot of credit. As a starter, averaging better than 18 points and 8 rebounds per game, or 8 assists per game, excuse me. And tonight, Collison has 22 points.
A quiet third quarter, but he had a big first half. Dallas concentrated on him a little bit more. They're going to need him to make some plays, though, down the stretch here to try to get them to workable margin.
Nahara called for the moving screen. Not for Chris Paul, his numbers 20 points, 11 assists per game, and you can see his numbers better than Collison's, the team's overall record. A little bit better with Paul than without Paul, but I think all things considered, they didn't realize they were going to get this much out of Darren Collison this early in his career.
No, a lot of people thought that when Chris Paul went down, with what he means to this team and a rookie stepping in to play the point, that they were really going to be out of it, and that hasn't been the case. Collison's done a nice job of helping to keep this team's head above water until Paul can come back and hopefully make a push for the playoffs.
And you've got to love the activity of Marcus Thornton. Now, how many teams in the league right now have 2 rookies who are doing as much as Collison and Thornton are doing?
Yeah, they're exciting tandem, and this is the time of the game now. You want to get the ball into your veterans' hands, let them make a play. Peja finally gets one to go down, and they've got this thing down now to 9. A lot of energy on the New Orleans bench right now.
Rick Carlisle will use another timeout. New Orleans, once down by 25, has cut it to single digits. All right, Jonesy, thank you. And again, it's expected Zydrunas Ilgauskas will re-sign with the Cavs in a couple of weeks, but they're without a true center, at least for the meantime. What a comeback, Tim, that New Orleans has had here in the second half. They've cut a 25-point deficit down to 9. How have they done it?
Well, they spent virtually the entire first half backpedaling because of the onslaught that the Mavericks had in transition. The activity level really picked up defensively. They forced Dallas to play more in the half court, and they attacked. They got to the foul line. They broke the Mavericks down from a variety of places on the court to help shrink the game and slow it down, take away the Mavericks' best asset, which is their ability to get out in space and play with all of this talent and the number of guys they have that can pass. Now, things have gotten interesting, and now they're going to clamp down, dig in, and see if they can hold on here for the next 8 minutes.
Jason Kidd and Caron Butler have both returned to the game for Dallas. Posey defending Nowitzki. In and out. Not much you can do as a defender with the arc that Dirk has and the height that he has. Just play tough defense, hope for the best. And Dirk has had a few rattle out on him here in the second half.
Now, he'll get that shot anytime he wants to. He just has to jab, step, and eventually creates a little bit of space to go up at 7 feet tall. He's going to get that jumper whenever he wants it.
Collison, and this is as close as New Orleans has been since way back in the first quarter.
You cannot say enough about how well Darren Collison has played tonight. I mean, he just, Chris Paul summed it up best. Nothing phases him.
Terry to Kidd. Oh! Battling for the rebound. And a foul going against New Orleans.
Brendan Haywood that time really pinned David West under the backboard on that first rebound attempt, and then James Posey came down and lent some help and commit the foul before Haywood could get that thing back up on the glass.
Saw both teams cold from the outside despite some wide open looks from three-point range here in the second half. And a foul on Posey. New Orleans coming off a win over Orlando on Friday night, an impressive win. We've seen in recent games in the last week or so a ton of big comebacks. Dallas against Atlanta, Golden State against Atlanta. There's a big basket for the Mavericks.
They needed that great curl by Jason Terry to get to the rim.
Jump ball is the call between Kidd and Collison.
Again, great hands by Jason Kidd. He's done it to him twice, basically giving ground the entire time, and then he just has such incredible timing to reach in, get a piece of that basketball just as Collison's trying to get it up to the rim. This is just strength, timing, and the ability to get your hand on a basketball and prevent Collison from getting it up for a layup.
6'4" Kidd, 6-foot Collison. And Collison wins it. And then Kidd ties up Thornton. What is the record for the fastest consecutive tie-ups?
I think you just saw it.
And it winds up with Thornton winning it back to a teammate. Stojakovic. Oh boy. It is down to 6.
When you shoot the basketball the way Stojakovic does, he just needed to see one go in. And that little fadeaway he hit about 10 feet a few minutes ago is enough. Now he feels like he's back on again, and he hesitated not at all on that shot right there.
Rick Carlisle's been burning timeouts, making substitutions. Nothing has slowed down the Hornets here in recent minutes. Nowitzki, yes, big basket.
They're going to have to come with somebody because he's going to get whatever he wants against James Posey. It's just too big of a size difference. Dirk loves shooting the fadeaways, and Posey's not going to be able to contest that shot. They're going to have to double team to keep going to that set.
Dirk with 26 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists as well.
shocked Page did not pull the trigger on that. He came up to the top of the key and he was open.
Haywood with a block. West gathers again, stuffed again. Shot clock violation. Brendan Haywood, third in the NBA in blocks this year.
You see, Dallas is just going to milk this until New Orleans adjusts, because Dirk knows with enough dribbles, he's going to get where he wants.
And then shoot the fadeaway. James Posey is defenseless in that situation. He's just not big enough to get a hand up and offer a contest.
And a technical foul on Jeff Bauer.
Not exactly sure what he's so angry about, unless he feels that it's a carryover from what happened at the other end, and he thinks that David West got fouled in the paint by Brendan Haywood. I just think he was still holding on to that play, and then you come down and Dirk hits a jumper, and it just compounds the situation.
And Nowitzki continues to put up the numbers. 31 Wednesday against the Lakers, 37 Friday against the Hawks, 29 already tonight.
Well, I will say one thing for James Posey, too. If you're going to go ahead and guard him, at least when he goes for the point of release, you've got to at least extend an arm and get a hand up. He's done it now twice, where Dirk has shot jumpers over him on back-to-back possessions, where he's chest to chest, but his hands are at his side. You've got to at least offer that much, try to get your hand up in front of his face and at least obscure his vision for a split second.
So 5 straight points by Nowitzki after the Hornets got within 6. Thornton pulls the trigger, buries a 3. Boy, they got 2 talented young players on this team in Thornton and Collison.
Well, the key for them now is not going to be what happens down there. It's going to be what happens at this end. And you've got to string together a few stops here to really get this down, where the Mavericks might get a little bit tight.
Nowitzki again, Posey again. Not this time. And the rebound to Posey.
Still got the look that he wanted. That's almost like a layup for Dirk Nowitzki, that shot.
Now a turnover. And then a giveaway as Kidd threw it out of bounds.
I praise Jason Kidd all the time for throwing the ball ahead, letting guys make plays, but that was a difficult pass. It was cross-court, left-handed, and really too much traffic right there to complete that.
The future is bright for the New Orleans Hornets with these 2 young guys.
Oh, really? And they're getting a lot more production than they thought they would this early, to see if Collison can add to it. No hesitation out of the rook.
It's a 2 for Collison. We've got to update the graphic now. They're back within 6 again. They've combined for 47 points. Butler driving on Stojakovic. Got it back. New Orleans ball. What a comeback here by the Hornets in the second half. West. And Haywood corrals the rebound. Nice push by Nowitzki. It'll stay with Dallas.
Well, at least the Hornets now are giving themselves a chance, because Dallas is forced right now to play half-court basketball. They've been doing it almost this entire half, and you give yourself an opportunity then to make some plays, get some hands on basketball.
Still a lot of time to go. Another big jumper for Nowitzki. He's got 31.
Yeah, it's just too easy for him. I mean, he knows he's already 7 feet tall, and his release point is high. That high arcing shot, it's just a matter of, not did you force him to miss, but did he just miss the shot? And right now, he's got a rhythm going. They're going to have to figure out something else, get a different guy on him, or run at him and force him to get the basketball up.
Collison goes by Kidd and fouled. All the Mavericks are looking around trying to figure out who it's on. It's on Kidd.
Well, that time, instead of backpedaling and keeping Collison in front of him for the strip, that time Collison got around him, and then Jason Kidd tried to come over the top and get him from behind.
Certainly, 1 of 2.
Yeah, Dan, you certainly wouldn't make a shooting video out of Collison's release, but He's so quick and explosive that he always has space because guys have to back off of him, and he has a little bit more time to get that shot off. That's why he's been effective knocking down jump shots.
And the 27 points for Collison ties the season high for the rookie. What a nice move. Spin move by big Brendan Haywood.
It's always great to see your center not settle when he's got a guy that's smaller than him in the post. Brendan Haywood got the exact shot that he wanted.
And we've got a double foul as Haywood and West got into it a little bit.
Dave West that time came down the court and really tried to get Brendan Haywood off, to back off of him, got his forearm into his chest, and Brendan Haywood just slapped his arm down. So they decided to just let's go with the double technical and kind of cool that situation off.
You know, Haywood bringing some shot blocking, some size, and Okafor not in the game for New Orleans, so West in effect playing the center spot. New Orleans giving up a lot of size at the 5 spot and the 4 spot right now. West driving, nice dish. Collison from the baseline. That's a new season high, and obviously career high for the rookie Darren Collison with 29.
See if they can make something happen now defensively.
Kidd gets inside, partially blocked. Collison. Oh boy, what a night Collison is having. 32. Tim, they're back within 4.
So relaxed. This is the Darren Collison show right now. He is coming down and he's just going right at Jason Kidd. And like I said, with his quick burst, you've got to give him some space. And when you do right now, he's shooting the basketball in a relaxed zone.
The rookie from UCLA is the story tonight. Key point guard in Collison going toe-to-toe here right now, but the Hornets have come back within 4. The Dallas Mavericks care about the community. Mavericks guard Matt Carroll and WNBA legend Lisa Leslie hosted a vaccination awareness event for students at William James Middle School in Fort Worth as part of the Vaccines for Teens educational campaign. This was just one of more than 25 events and programs that took place throughout North Texas as part of the NBA Cares All-Star Community Caravan at NBA All-Star 2010. The NBA, where caring happens. We alluded a little bit earlier to some of the great comebacks that we've seen in the NBA in the last couple of weeks. And in spite of the best efforts of Dirk Nowitzki, and because of the best efforts of Darren Collison, the Hornets have made an incredible comeback tonight. Once down 25, they've got it within 4.
If they can complete this, this might be the best comeback I've seen all year because they look dead in the water and particularly look clueless defensively about how to slow this team down. So to me, it's miraculous that they've gotten themselves to this position now. You've got a 2-possession game with about 3 minutes to go.
Collison, by the way, has played over 41 minutes in this game. David West as well. But they're showing no signs of wearing down. 2-man game, Kidd and Nowitzki. Shot clock at 4. Fade away by Dirk. Haywood, big offensive rebound. Needs some help, and they'll call a timeout.
Yeah, he's a load down there. He's tough. Once he's entrenched deep, it's very difficult to move him. Used his long arms that time to give them an extra possession.
We'll step aside, just over 2 minutes to go. Dallas clinging to the lead. Back here in Dallas, the Mavericks up by 4 with the basketball. Tim, you know Dirk Nowitzki's going to get touches on every possession. If you're New Orleans, how do you defend him?
Well, you're going to have to run somebody at him right now. If you allow him to back James Posey down, he's going to get whatever look he wants. He's just too big for him. Run at him, force him to give the basketball up. At least then, with your quickness that you've got in the court, you can run at guys at the 3-point line and force them to put the ball back on the floor. But you cannot let Dirk just lock in an ISO situation against a shorter defender. He's too good of a shooter to allow that to happen.
And they got to keep Haywood off the glass, as we just saw as well. It'll be Haywood and Nowitzki, Butler, Kidd, and Terry in the game for Dallas. For New Orleans, Collison and Thornton, an all-rookie backcourt, along with Stojakovic, Posey, and West up front. And we got a delay of game warning against New Orleans. Thornton crossing that imaginary plane. SportsCenter is next year on ESPN. The Winter Olympics coming to a close. All kinds of NBA action, including a big game between the Lakers and Nuggets, as seen earlier today on ABC. Into Nowitzki. Butler will get a touch. Trying to back down Stojakovic. Fadeaway jumper. Rebound Hornets.
Nice job that time by Page. That's the shot you want to force Caron Butler into. Make him turn to the baseline and shoot that fadeaway jump shot. Good defensive possession by New Orleans. Now they've got to execute.
West. Stojakovic. That would have made it a one-point game, and he had a clean look.
Yeah, Caron Butler thought that he could get back out to Pazier, but Pazier went out a couple extra feet beyond the three-point arc for a clean look. Would have been huge if he could have knocked that down.
Kid milking the clock, finds Nowitzki, in and out. And the rebound to David West.
I'd like to see Collison get something here, maybe with some pick and roll action.